Yes. The Hard Rock Casino, Seminole Hard Rock Casino in Miami, Florida, and Hollywood, Florida. The big guitar, the big guitar in the sky, in the middle of Miami, in the heart of Miami, or on the outskirts of Miami. I'm not even sure. I'm not an expert when it comes to Miami. Um, that's a place that I've been to multiple times, right? I went in 2021 right after COVID. I took a trip to Miami, and I went this past year. And let me tell you, first off, I'll say the Seminole Hard Rock Casino, it is a very beautiful casino. It is a really nice casino. It's a very friendly confines type place. It's a place that, you go to, you have a good time. There's so many things to do. And I would absolutely go back 1,000%. It is one of the nicer casinos I've ever been to, one of the nicer resorts. And at some place I'm dying to go back at some point. Maybe not next year, maybe not the year after, but at some point. You know me. I like to fuck around. I like to go to casinos. I'm a big believer that when you go on a vacation, when you go to a city that you're not very familiar with, there's not a better place to stay at than a casino because it's got everything. It's a 24/7 basic, like basically something going on at all hours. And really, there's no one comfort of going outside of your hotel area because you have everything right where you are. So, Seminole Hard Rock in Miami. I've said that about 4 times now. I'm just going to keep going with the story. I've been twice now, and both times I went, man, oh man, does it really fucking humble you when you go to a place like that? I went into that casino, you bring a couple $100 when you go to a place like that. You don't, like, anytime I go to a casino, I only bring like 200, maybe $300 on a good weekend, where, like, I go and I'm planning on losing that. I know that that's going to go to waste. That's just going to be disappearing. Or, on the rare occasion you win, it's fun to come home with like $400. Gambling's never a good idea. Going anywhere and gambling, it's just never a good idea. You're never going to win. It's something that, never works out for anybody in the end. Now, when you go to the Hard Rock, it is, you're in Miami. Think about it. Miami, if anybody's ever been to Miami, is a place that when you go, you are absolutely, no matter how much money you make, there's millions of people that make tons of more money than you. And I'm not somebody who's wealthy by any means. So going to Miami, I'm already a fish out of water. When you go around, you look at all the money that's running around a place like that. I don't fit in at all. And I really don't fit in with the glitz and glam lifestyle that is Miami itself. So the Hard Rock Casino is the ultimate spot where you really feel like a poor person when you walk in. So like I said, I walk in with my usual $200 to $300. And you start walking around and you realize, there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of the tables open. There's no, like, you can't get to a blackjack table. You can't get to a roulette table because there are so many people there. That place is packed out consistently. Like, when I tell you, I was there on a Tuesday, I was there on a Saturday, and I was there on a Thursday. I lied. I was there 3 times. Sorry. I was in fucking Miami for a week, so I went twice in 1 week. Sue me. So every single time you go, it is absolutely packed out. Like, there's always something going on there. There's always something happening. So it's a good sign for a casino. It just shows that it's a nice spot. Again, nothing bad to say about the Hard Rock, but you realize pretty quickly when you're a guy like me, when you're not really a high roller by any means, that when you walk into a place like that, you are such a fucking fish out of water, and it's unbelievable. I walk in there with my measly $300. I walk up to a roulette table. You finally find a roulette table that has enough room for you to sneak your, sliver your way in a little bit. And I put my $100 on the table. And I'm like, all right, cool. Give me a bunch of fives. I'm only going to play, I'm going to fuck around and play the outsides and shit. Red, black, one, first, second, third. Shit like that. Nothing crazy. So it dawned on me right away that I was way out of my league. Because while I'm waiting for my 105s, some guy walks right up to the table, stands right next to me, and puts down a whole wad. He fucking puts it out one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 30 fucking $100 bills right in my face. Now, to me, I'm looking and I'm like, dude, I don't think I'd be willing to gamble $3,000 in a course of a year, let alone in one night. I look over at this guy. This guy's clearly got more money than fucking everybody in the place, right? So I'm like, all right, like, this is already interesting. I'm excited to see where this goes. And the guy right away was a complete asshole, right? So this is the funny part of the story. This is one of the stories I'll tell. So this guy, like, immediately the roulette dealer, the lady's like giving him the money, and for some reason he's pissed off about something. And I don't know. He had like a little accent. I don't know what. Maybe it was like a translation thing that he was saying. He goes, "What are you doing?" Like in whatever accent he was doing. And she handed him the right amount of money. So I was trying to figure out why this guy was so pissed off. But she hands him 30 fucking 100 chips, 100 black chips, 30 of them, which is I've never seen anything like it. And he's like being a dick about it. He's like, oh, like you screwed it up, you did this, and she didn't do anything wrong. The lady did not do a fucking thing wrong, right? So he proceeds to explain to his friend next to him how what he does is he puts $100 on each number, like 30 numbers. He puts $100 on 30 numbers, and as long as it doesn't come up on 6 of those numbers, he wins. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, this guy's fucking out of his mind. You know, the best he's gonna do is make $600 off this spin. Like, and I'm sitting there. At this point, I'm flabbergasted. I have my 3 $5 chips on the board. I'm like, I don't even feel like I should have my chips on the same fucking board here. I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at my pockets. I'm looking at my bank account. I'm like, yeah, you know, I could probably afford to do this right now, but I'm not going to. I'm not gonna, because even looking at this guy do it gives me fucking anxiety. And again, it goes back to the whole idea of I'm the fish out of water here. So, whatever. The guy's got all these numbers down. I think the 6 numbers were like 6 on the right side of the board. They were like multiples of 3. It was like 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 21, right? So as long as it doesn't come up any of those numbers, he's gonna win $3,600 and win $600 in all. So the guy's like really, really, really fucking looking down, and like, you know, really laser focused on this spin. So out of like respect for what's going on here, I'm not leaving my $15 in chips on the board. I don't want anything to do with what's going on here. So this guy, the spin goes around, it goes around, 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 and around. Boom. 18. One of the 6 numbers he didn't have his fucking chips on. And this guy starts throwing a fucking fit. He's like, you gotta be like, dude, it got to the point where I was like, oh my God, I'm not even comfortable standing here right now. The guy was losing his fucking mind. It was crazy. I'm like, you know, like, that's what gambling gets you. But like, I didn't say that out loud because he probably would have shot me on the spot. But I'm sitting there like, yeah, you know, it's not a fucking exact science, you know. You think you play the odds, all it takes is one of those times for it to fuck you like that. But this guy was throwing a meltdown. He's like, he's fucking yelling at the dealer. He's having a fit. And they pull him out of the place. And I'm thinking, like, you know, that's a valuable lesson right there, you know. Gambling's never going to get you ahead, even if you do put the odds in your favor. The odds are never really in your favor. So that was one of those, like, come to Jesus moments I had while I was there, where I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't think I belong in a place like this. I don't think I'm somebody who should be here. So I go to another roulette table because I'm thinking maybe I just stumbled upon a high roller table. Maybe I just stumbled upon a table that, like, you know, I shouldn't have been at. So I go to the table next to me, and I do the same thing. I put my $15 in chips on I think it was one of the thirds of the board, and I see this guy next to me. It's me and one other guy at the table. The guy places one of these orange chips there. It's a fucking fat chip. I've never seen it before in my life. Puts it down on black, right? Clearly does it. Like, the kid's a little bit fucked up. He's probably like one of those crypto fucking billionaires. He was younger than me, and I'm sitting there like, Jesus Christ, like, here we go again. This guy's got $1,000 on this spin, and like, here's my measly $15 minimum bet. Again, I don't feel comfortable doing this, but this time I left it. I forget what I even bet on, but whatever it was, I won, right? This guy, $1,000 a spin. Again, I am sitting there like, this is not, I don't belong. I am not a part of this. I should not be here right now. This guy, the spin comes, I think he put it on red. The spin goes around, 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 around. Black. Loses $1,000 on the spot. Again, he starts freaking out. He starts telling the dealer, I wanted you to just break that 1,000. I wasn't putting on, and like, total fucking sore loser behavior, right? Like, totally fucking ridiculous that he was like, oh, I wanted you to break that 1,000. I didn't think you were spinning. Guy was clearly fucking putting it on the spin, right? So after freaking out, after doing all that shit for like 10 minutes, you know what he does? He goes, fuck it. Reaches in his pocket. He's got 3 more $1,000 chips like that, right? He doubles up. He puts 2,000 on the next spin. He goes, fuck it, I'm getting all my money back. And I'm like, I gotta sit here and watch this. I'm like, this is insane. I go, again, here's another person that spent $3,000 on 2 spins. $3,000 is something I wouldn't bet in my entire fucking existence. No matter, like, in terms of casinos, if I've placed $3,000 in bets in my life, I would be fucking shocked. Puts it down on red or something, I forget. It was one of the two. To get his money back, lost again. And this time I didn't even put any chips down because I'm like, this is about this guy and the dealer. And oh my God, he starts having a meltdown again. He's like, what the fuck? I can't get anything going. So like, they are just like this. At this point, the security's like getting ready to pull the guy out. But again, it goes back to the point where I'm like, these guys are just throwing thousands and thousands of dollars around. Like, this is what Miami's all about. This is the epitome of Miami. These guys are just doing whatever. They're throwing their shit on the table. This guy just lost $3,000 in 2 spins. And it made me realize, I'm like, I'm not built for this life. I'm not built for, the Miami lifestyle. I'm not built for this casino. It was like, again, really nice place. Hard Rock is a beautiful fucking casino. I have nothing but good things to say about it aesthetically, about the casino grounds itself, the games. Everybody was like pretty good for the most part. But man, oh man, when you walk in there and you got these high rollers, these people that are willing to lose $3,000 in the span of about like 2 minutes, that's not a place I belong. My fucking broke ass does not belong in a place like that. And it was the most fish out of water moment I've probably had in my entire life, where I'm like, I'm with people here. I'm in this place where I shouldn't, I am not of the same class or society as these people. And it was quite incredible to see. It was quite like, it felt like you got a taste of the good life without like, well, it's not really the good life because it's like, it's an addiction. It's a problem. Like, but it became one of those things where I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, I am so overwhelmed here. And I left. I took off. I was like, fuck this. I can't be here anymore. This place is way, way, way. I've outkicked my coverage even sitting at a table here. And I don't know. It's a place I'd love to go back to someday if I ever did make some real money so I could actually feel like I belong there. But at the end of the day, Seminole Hard Rock, Miami, Florida, great casino. Just be prepared to feel like a fish out of water if you go, because the people that go there, the people that gamble there, are some serious, serious, serious high rollers.